So the more you cared, and you have a girlfriend or boyfriend that an escort, the harder it got. And people that don't care and think it's cool, and I used to tell this to my escorts, oh, but he loves me and he doesn't mind. Well, there's something wrong there, because now he wants to really be your second pimp. Hello and welcome to another episode of Madam Suzanne. I'm your host, Freddie Shabin, and this is a follow-up on the video I just posted, which is why is it difficult to be in a relationship as an escort. So with all fairness, we have to look at it from the non-escort perspective, the person that is not escorting in a relationship. And why is it difficult for them to be in a relationship with an escort? So this is from that point of view. Now, I've had the privilege of being on both ends. And I got to tell you, it is definitely, for me, it was more difficult to be on this end as a person that is in a relationship with an escort. In fact, it took me almost 3 years to develop what I call a separation. To have separation is defined as separating your emotions, thoughts, and feelings from the person you are working with and they're working as an escort. In other words, I was in the distinct position to be not only the significant other of an escort, but also to be their business partner. So that created even more of a challenge, because now you get to see everything and you get to know everything, and you're actually the one who's setting everything up. I can remember the first time I saw a review. I don't know what I was thinking, because I'm booking my ex. This is with Lisa Storm, which you heard me talk about her, the penthouse pet that got me into online escorting, or the business of escorting online, I should say. And even though I was the one that's booking all her appointments and taking care of all the marketing, advertising, promotions, and all this stuff, and screening, doing pretty much everything administrative, I remember the first time I had an issue with one of her reviewers, and I had to read the review because I made sure I never read them. I didn't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I'm good. And this was helping me develop the separation. And then I read the review. And then I read a second review and a third review, just to see the pattern. So in my case, what happened was that she did lie to the extent of the sexual services she provided, which wasn't cool on many ends, especially when you don't lie to your partner, especially they're not just your life partner, they're your business partner. And that really created an issue with me knowing exactly what services she provided, because here I am doing the advertising, promotion, marketing, and writing all the ads and everything. And now you're telling me it's really something else. So it was confusing to me, because we have to be on the same page business-wise. Setting that aside though, speaking from a relationship point where I am in a relationship with this person, you never want to be lied to, regardless whether you're business partners or life partners or friendships or whatever it is the case may be. You don't want to be lied to. Nobody wants to be lied to. That definitely creates friction. But it was always difficult to create that separation. And it took me, like I said, around 3 years. And to be honest, it's never solid 100%. If you care and love that person, it is going to be extremely hard, at least it was for me and everybody that I've talked to that had similar experiences, to be sharing your significant other with the world, if you will. Intimately. She wasn't a singer or a performer of some sort or a public figure of some sort that you have to share with the world. No, you had to share your partner intimately with the world. And if you've never experienced anything like this, it's one of the most difficult things you would have to deal with. It was for me, because I'm a very caring and loving person. And when I care and love, and I'm living under the same roof, and we're together 24/7, and we develop that strong bond, it's being an escort as your significant other creates that weakness. It's kind of like when there's an earthquake, it starts with a crack in the earth, and at some point it becomes so huge that it creates an earthquake, and it gets to, destruction follows. So that's how it was for me, even though I did end up mastering the art of separation, but it came with a cost. Everything has a yin and yang, right? Everything has an effect, cause and effect, right? You take some here, something else ends up getting affected on the other end. In my case, with me having separation, it affected how strong my feelings were, how much I allowed myself to feel and be attached to that person on all levels, because I knew I couldn't do it because I had to have separation so I can work with them. So almost every girlfriend I've had, pretty much from 1998 forward, even before 1998, before the internet, I could say pretty much from 1994 on forward, has been in this business in one way, shape, or form. And I was there involved in the business part of it behind the scenes. So having to worry about your partner with their sexual endeavors, with whether it's clients, or in my case, it was with clients, of course. And then you start wondering, are they doing anything else on the side? Because I started seeing other things where she was staying a little bit longer in the casinos after the job, and I knew the job was done, hanging out till 4 or 5 in the morning. So like taking advantage of the position. You start wondering, and of course they want to tell you it's a job. So there's definitely a trust issue. Okay, a very, very unhealthy. In fact, looking back, I can't believe I was involved with that, because it was very unhealthy for me to be an escort agent, let alone escort agent with an escort that I'm in a relationship with. So I kind of doubled down on the drama and the problems and the challenge, right? So you have to think about, well, at least I did, okay, the sexual part that's not with you, times, in my case, it was maybe, we started at about maybe 30 jobs a month, and we cut it back to between 5 and 10 because we upped the packages to 3, 5, and 10,000. So she didn't have to work as much. She was still making 5 times more the money, and partially was designed so she doesn't have to see a lot of people, which she didn't want to, and I didn't want her to. That was partially why we did that as well, not just financial and business decisions. It's just extremely hard because you have to share your love, your significant other, with other men, in my case. And I knew exactly what's going on because I'm the one who's booking her with them. And so it's in my face. So even if I wasn't working with her, it's probably going to be even worse, because your mind is always going to go to worst scenario cases. And that wasn't fun. Now, if somebody does not care about the person, then, these videos I'm making about the subject, this one and the one I did before, are obsolete, because the point of the matter that starts everything is the challenge. Is what starts this to be a challenge is that when you care, makes a huge difference than when you don't, in anything you do in life. Put anything together as a scenario in your brain right now, and there's a big difference between you caring and not caring, and how you deal with that situation. So the more you cared, and you have a girlfriend or boyfriend that an escort, the harder it got. And people that don't care and think it's cool, and I used to tell this to my escorts, oh, but he loves me and he doesn't mind us. Well, there's something wrong there, because now he wants to really be your second pimp, right? Because he really wants the money. And I used to tell him, if you tell them and they're cool, that means they want the money and they don't mind, or they don't care. If you tell them and they're not cool, that means they care. And then this way you will not be able to do the job anyways. And this is why when I was working with people, I said, I cannot work with you if you're in a relationship, because it's not going to work. You know, I can think of one couple that I had that I started working with the wife at a young age. They were both younger. He was older than her and she was younger. She was in her 20s. He was in his almost 40. This is in Las Vegas. And supposedly it worked out for them, but they had an open relationship. So he could go and screw around. Plus they were swingers on top of it. It's just a whole different ball game, right? That's not the norm. And so it isn't the norm to be in a relationship with an escort. So it creates a lot of challenges: mental, emotional, physical, psychological, sexual. It does affect the sex life, of course, and from both ends. Her seeing other clients, the last thing she wants to do is have sex when she came home. And then I found myself wanting to have sex so I could, I guess, cement my relationship with her and let her know that, I loved her and cared about her. But then, then you have those other guys in your mind, and it's just a whole messy situation. So the bottom line is, unless someone is really secure with themselves and the relationship and have separation and are operating on a different vibration and they're evolved more than your average Joe or Sally or whatever, or Jane, from my humble opinion, in my experience in the past, it will be very difficult to be in a relationship with an escort for all the reasons I mentioned. Aside from them being busy all the time, especially if they're independent and they're always working, and especially if they're always flying, and if they tour and do all this stuff, and then you're always worried about them for safety, and all these other things compound the problem. I'm not saying it's not possible. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. I don't want to be a negative, because I like to stay positive. I'm just sharing with you what my reality was, having a serious relationship with an escort that I was also working with in my case. So, thank you so much. Have an awesome day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy.